Hey, dear listener. Welcome to Sick Burn Jane. You're going to hear Allison call it Podlander Drunk Cast and Outlander Podcast because we're just so excited. But this is Sick Burn Jane. So enjoy. Sick Burn Jane.
So you're telling us a story.
Okay, so I went to the Oasis last night for Gigi's birthday. It was a big deal. Lots of people there. We got there at about 7:45, and it was the busiest I've seen the Oasis since like lockdown, right? I know it's been busier, but I haven't been there during like Loyola games, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And we get a seat at the bar. We end up hanging out with Ben, the owner of the bar, for a long time. I got a lot of hot goss about ISAM. Remember ISAM from across the street? Whew, I learned some good things. But this was it. This group of 4 girls comes in. And Kenny the doorman doesn't come on until 10. So I guess Loyola students have figured out that if they get there between like 8 and 10, there's a chance that somebody won't check their ID.
Shit.
So these girls come walking in, and Ben is right there at the corner of the bar. No, sorry. April is right there. The bartender is right there. And she goes, "Hi, ladies, IDs, please." And all 4 of them just turn around and walked out without a word. And everybody at the bar gave April applause.
I love it.
It was very funny.
I mean, and kudos to those girls for just like trying to like walk with purpose. Like if we just walk like we're supposed to be there, we're supposed to be there. No.
And that to me means that it has worked, or that there are Loyola students telling other Loyola students how to do it right now. Because they have, since lockdown, the Loyola's campus has gotten completely fucked with, and any of the places where the students typically used to go to drink are gone. So they're all going to the O now, and the O is like harumph.
Yeah, I feel like maybe whether it's happened at the Oasis or not, it's clearly working somewhere.
Yeah.
But not on April's watch.
Not on tonight, girl. No. Hi, ladies, IDs. Oop. Not a word.
Oh,
they had a plan. They knew that if somebody asked them, they just silently would walk out.
I've got a transition for this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What Julie doesn't know is that the girls who turned around and walked out were Kitty and Lydia Bennett.
Awesome.
Nice.
They totally would.
They totally would.
Oh, they
Kitty
would try.
Would be like, "I don't know, isn't this illegal?" And then Lydia would be like, "Come on,
whatever.
Get it together."
Whatever. They ask.
And then Kitty
leave.
would say, "This doesn't even look like me." And she's like, "Nobody cares."
They ask, we leave.
They ask, we leave.
Yeah, Aaron's
and
right.
That's how it worked.
And it did. It was very funny.
Did you ever have a fake, either of you?
No.
Me neither.
I was.
God, are we square?
I'm a fucking Eagle Scout. Come on. And that was at a time.
Hold
where
on, let me rephrase. Julie, are you and I square?
We already know that about me.
I was drinking. I just had friends that were older than me that were able to get it, and I didn't have to like go to bars.
I didn't drink in high school.
I did.
In college, pre-21, it was the same. I always had friends who were older.
Mm-hmm. I drank at the very end of my high school experience, and it was at the senior senior party. And I had a little too much, and someone said, "Hey, Aaron, you should go streak, run towards that campfire and streak towards it and come back." And she was a very hot girl. And I said, yes. And I did it. And then guess how my parents found out about it? At the formal senior party where there's like a raffle and all this shit, someone entered in a raffle ticket question that says, "Who streaked at the senior sleepout?" And the entire fucking cafeteria of students said, "Aaron Pagel, the senior class president." That's how my mom found out.
Okay. I have 2 questions. 1, did you puke?
No, but I was very, very drunk. I slept in the back of someone's car.
So you had half a beer.
Thank you.
You were in high school.
Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah.
2, this is the really important question. Who's Aaron Pagel?
That was a story. Did I just make that up?
Okay. So, Lydia Bennett here. No, Kitty. No, Mary. This is a Mary Bennett story. Mary Bennett goes to her senior sleepover, and she has half a beer, and somebody is like, "Mary, streak." She's like, "Okay."
Yes.
Am I? Oh,
I can see that though.
In this circumstance, yes, not usually.
Am I the drama? I can't be the drama.
Mary's not the drama.
Mary's never the drama.
Mary's the Eagle Scout.
But she is such a drag. God damn it. I was a Mary growing up.
You know what? Self-awareness is a gift.
Yeah.
And you're a delight now.
Thank you.
I'm sure you were a delight then too, especially to other Mary Bennetts.
There were so many of us reading our books.
I've got you beat. Being a Mary Bennett sucks, but it could be worse. You could be a Rachel Berry.
Yeah.
And that was me.
I think I was probably a cross between I was a cross between Lydia and Mary. Because I was holding it down school-wise, always making straight A's. A, Mary, reading all the time. B, leading a secret life and partying all the time.
You did it right. Okay, we're going to buckle down now because we've got a lot to get through, folks. Come on. Okay, so this is part 1 of our 2-part, hopefully, wrap up for Imbibe and Prejudice, Volume 1. Because we'll be back. There are other Pride and Prejudice adaptations that we have not covered, including the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which is one of the ones that I'm most excited to get into. There are a bunch more. There will always be new ones. But at a certain point, Janine and Julie were like, stop.
Save us.
Can we do something else?
I recognize that it is a truth universally acknowledged. Can we look at some other truths, please? So we're moving right along to talk about Emma instead. And that's going to be a real hoot. But first we have to bid farewell to this first volume of Imbibe and Prejudice. We're going to do this in 2 parts. Julie and Janine, they only know that these are our brackets episode because we love brackets. But of course, doing brackets is a little impractical. However, episode 2, brackets. Episode 1, we're just going to go through some of the cast, some of our other favorite categories, and quickly but fiercely debate the best of the best.
Got it.
I'm going to need one of you, let's say Julie, because you have your notebook with you, don't you, bitch? Yeah, you do. I'm going to need you to take notes on who we decide, especially if there's a tie. Oh, did you also get your dice ready?
I did, just in case we were going to, I get brought out the Dick Sack of Destiny, just in case we were going to need to have some chance involved.
If you're, you know what, we were going to find a way to work that in. If you're listening to this on the Sick Burn Jane feed that doesn't exist yet, but will soon, you probably don't know what the hell the Dick Sack of Destiny is. So let me tell you, Julie has a chainmail dice bag that resembles a pair of balls, dangling testicles. We'll put a photo on.
Oh my God,
there we
it's
go.
Just so fucking perfect.
It's so good. We'll put a photo on the old Instagram.
It makes it look wrinkly.
It's filled with blood red dice, which was
every time I open it up and scatter the dice, I get to say I'm spreading my seed.
Yeah, it's the best. And when we do season wrap-ups for Outlander on... Oh, I said welcome to Podlander Drugcast and Outlander Podcast.
Yeah!
Oh, no.
Well, now we just get to have that bumper that says, listen, we don't know what time it is. We don't know what day it is. It's the pandemic.
You get to record that one, Janine. You will have already heard that time travel. So welcome to Sick Burn Jane. If you're listening in the Sick Burn Jane feed, you don't know what this is. So on the Drugcast feed, we give out awards and superlatives and things: best scene, best line, best costume, best small role, best big role, by creating our nominees, and then we roll to determine who actually wins because they're all good. So how can we decide? We let fate decide.
Might as well let fate. Yeah,
fate loves chaos. We've had some odd winners.
We have.
Yeah. But it's been a hoot. Also, we cheat. So we'll find a way to work that in. And then we are going to, should I tell you what the bracket is? No, I'm going to save it for the end.
Just let us spread out so that we have the larger sample size to work from. And then it will be easier to build because you will have more options.
Oh, we have a specific, we'll get there. You'll see. The one thing we're not going to do, what we're not going to do is we're not going to do Darcy. And the reason we're not going to do Darcy is because we are going to save it for a live show of some kind.
Okay.
So when there's a big, after we do part 2, we'll still talk about Darcy, but we're not going to decide the definitive Darcy because we're going to do Darcy Bowl.
Yeah.
Like for Game of Thrones fans, like Clegane Bowl. So we're basically going to have Colin Firth, Matthew McFadden and Matthew Rhys square off and squish each other's heads to death.
But we're going to throw the fodder of Christmas at Pemberley in there for shits and giggles.
No, I mean, there are other. Laurence Olivier can be in there for shits and giggles. We don't speak of Christmas.
He gets the shit beat out of him by the rodeo clown. That's what happens.
Yes. Sorry, Larry.
Sorry, not your part.
Oh God, do you know that story, the Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier story?
Mm-hmm. From Marathon Man? Oh, Lord.
What's the story?
So there was a really intense scene where Laurence Olivier's character was messing with Dustin Hoffman's character through dentistry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teeth.
Please go on, Allison.
And Dustin Hoffman was just tying himself in knots. This is it's one of my very favorite legendary acting stories. It's right up there with Carol Channing's Corn. I don't remember eating corn. Like it's one of those, right? Mm. So it's legendary, leg and dairy. So Dustin Hoffman is tying himself with knots. He's contorting his face. He's like getting himself really psyched up because he's a method actor, right? So he's got to be in this incredible pain. He's making himself feel miserable. And it's just, they're doing take after take and it's not working. And Laurence Olivier goes, "My dear boy, why don't you just try acting?" That's a sick burn. You know what?
I love it.
It's not the sickest burn, but when we get to the sick burn conversation, which we are, obviously, we'll include that as an honorary. How about that?
So
great.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a good one.
Where we're going to start, though, is we're going to start with a category near and dear to all of our hearts. Who is the best, and that's in quotation marks, I hope you could hear them, Collins. We've got options, man. The Collinses are regularly pretty excellent.
We're starting out strong with this category because this is I feel like the Collins.
I don't fuck around. I know what I'm doing, folks.
You do.
I don't know if you know this, but this is my actual job.
Because the Collins almost, I think they're a barometer for how good that Pride and Prejudice is.
Or definitely a barometer of how
funny
it is.
Yes, that might be the more accurate way to say that.
Yeah, because and it can vary between more fantasy like the A&E, more like pretty, everything's pretty, and go all the way down to Joe Wright's, which is more like realistic. But if Collins isn't funny, the movie tends to be, or the adaptation tends to be less funny.
Yeah. Ooh, God. Well, I
open the floor for nominees.
I mean, David Bamber for life.
Matt Smith. He deserves to be on the list, but does not deserve to win.
I actually really like Matt Smith.
This was good.
He's not going to win, but if David Bamber didn't exist, he'd be a real contender.
He really would.
My nominee is going to be Rupert. No, not Rupert Friend. What the hell? Rupert Friend is the Wickham. What the hell's the guy's name? Character actor. Does the Thing. He's the guy in the Thing. He does. But Mr. Tom Hollander. There we go.
Yeah, not Tom Holland. Tom Hollander.
And if you'll remember, dear listener, Tom Hollander as Mr. Collins was a divisive performance on his cast.
Not my favorite.
I think he's great and very funny because it's more like, you know what it is? It's like Mr. Collins, if Mr. Collins was a character on a 2-episode arc on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
yeah.
He's a close talker. He talks too close.
Yeah.
He double dipped a chip. Like he's that guy.
Don't judge the double dip.
All right, I'm bringing one in.
Okay.
I've been quiet for a moment because I've been looking him up. Neeton Ganatra, the Mr. Coley from Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh.
Thank you for bringing him into this mix.
I think that's a good list because none of the other ones really made that. I don't remember who he was in the Laurence Olivier one. No. I don't remember. No. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty good.
Actually,
Hollander, Smith, Mr. Coley, and
David Bamber. How many adaptations did we watch in this first volume? That's a good question.
That's a great question. Did
we watched 742.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. Once we got to the musical, that's what it felt like.
Oh my God, the musical.
Oh God. Just best forgotten. So there were 8, right? It's something like that. It's somewhere around 8.
There was, let's see.
A&E.
Yeah, my PP. Then there was Laurence Olivier PP.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was Bridget Jones.
Mm-hmm.
We can't forget Bridget Jones. That's an important one.
You're right. Is there a Collins in Bridget? There isn't really.
No.
No, there are Collins-like figures. But
it's not part. It's not.
But
as
it's
important.
just a vague sort of buttholishness.
So that's 3.
We watched Christmas at Pemberley Manor.
Thanks.
4. That's 3.5.
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice.
No, that can't be. Okay. Miniseries. Olivier. Bridget. Lifetime. Not Lifetime. I apologize. Lifetime. Hallmark.
Pride and Prejudice.
Joe Wright. Bride and Prejudice. Musical.
Christmas at Pemberley Manor.
We
sorry.
did that.
Death at Pemberley. Death
Comes to Pemberley,
mm-hmm.
Which does not have a Collins, and Wishbone. Let us not forget. So
oh my God! Please do not forget Wishbone.
That's 9.
So that's 9. Okay, so I was pretty close when I said 8.
I was also pretty close when I said 700 and whatever I said.
Yes,
yeah. Well,
agreed.
Yeah.
So having 4 in a category to me seems fine. If there were 9 adaptations and we have 4 best of the best, that seems correct.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then let's roll. Let's do it.
Right.
Let's roll it.
Excuse me while I scatter my seeds.
Yeah.
Your blood seed.
All right, I got my D20. Here we go.
I think Matt Smith gets an advantage on this because of the blood seed and the zombies.
Oh yeah, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So that's 10.
4 still seems like the right number of
yeah,
nominees,
but still,
so.
yeah, 10. We did 10 of those. 10 of
All right,
those.
David Bamber. 16.
Pretty good.
I think that's about too short, but
yeah.
Matt Smith, 1 critical fail. Sorry.
Well, you know what? He did critically fail to recognize the presence of zombies in his midst.
Accurate number. Very accurate number. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Tom
also,
Hollander.
I mean, the casting department critically failed to realize that even when he's being a weirdo, Matt Smith is still a stone cold fox.
Yeah.
This is the biggest problem with that Collins, is that he's the worst and a snack does not compute.
All right, Tom Hollander. 12.
A respectable showing.
And is respectful.
And
no, you know what? Hold on, Julie, I got to make an adjustment.
My feelings on
I'm going to need you to bump him up 4.
Why does he get a proficiency bonus?
Because he's too close.
Oh.
He's just too close to David Bamber. That's his thing, is he's always too close. I'm sorry. I think this is a top level joke and neither of you is reacting at all.
Tom Hollander is not our pick.
I know.
so we're like, whatever.
I was saying the numbers, because if you add 4, then he's at 16 and David Bamber's at 18. So he's too close to David Bamber.
Sorry. David Bamber is at 16. I thought 16 was too low.
Oh,
so
well, then
2.
you know what?
Add 2.
Yeah, add 2, and then we had 4, and then now you can laugh.
Okay, hold on. We've got one very important one. Mr. Coley, Neaton Ganatra.
Oh gosh.
9.
That's too low.
That is too low.
That is too low. But
how
he
much
still would not win up against David Bamber.
How much do we add for just for no life?
Oh, and that fucking Speedo.
That Speedo too. Okay, you know what? He gets at least 5 extra points.
At least 5 extra points for that Speedo.
So that puts him at 14. That ties him up with Tom Hollander, which seems kind of right.
I'm fine with that.
And then our winner, as was always to be predicted, is David Bamber of the A&E BBC Pride and Prejudice miniseries Nemesis.
Yeah,
he's so good.
He is a standard.
Will say this
quintessential.
I think. What's the name of the actor who plays Mr. Coley?
Neaton Ganatra.
Neaton Ganatra. He is by far the most likable, which is a daunting task. And Matt Smith does the best ridiculous dancing, which is really saying something because David Bamber's ridiculous dancing is top notch.
His is more uncomfortable and Matt Smith's is more showy.
Yes. But also it's because Matt Smith is so tall and skinny.
And
so it's like he's all elbows.
Yeah, he can't help it. David Bamber is like a tiny little man.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Bamber.
Great.
Not an upset.
David Bamber.
We saw this coming.
Not an upset at all. We
saw this coming. And the dice don't lie. Dice don't lie.
They do not. Mm-mm. Okay. Next category. We are going to do both. I'm throwing a twist at you.
Twisties.
Best Mr. and Mrs. Bennett.
Oh, you mean together as a pair?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I think that we've seen great examples
Yeah.
of both individually, but they really got to work as a unit, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Julie, who would you like to nominate?
Right? Or is it Brenda Blethyn?
Brenda
Sorry.
Blethyn.
Brenda Blethyn. So that's mine.
Good choice.
Blethyn, Sutherland. Now I'm gonna go and look up the A&E folks because they are really good.
What about you, Janine?
God damn, the Joe Wright pairing was where my brain was at.
That's what I got.
Yeah. If I have to pick another one though, I don't know.
Well, I'll go next then.
Yeah, I know you keep thinking.
I'm gonna go with the great Jim Broadbent and
Yes.
Gemma. Is it Gemma Jones? Bridget Jones's Diary.
It's also good. Damn it.
Yeah, they were really good. And you're right, working as a pair together, even though they're a little bit less featured, they're featured less in Bridget Jones than they are sort of in more traditional Pride and Prejudice adaptations. They, as a pair, you're right.
Well, and she's so funny. And they've got the whole weird storyline with the Home Shopping Network guy.
Oh, yeah.
And they have that beautiful scene where he fakes her out into thinking they're not going to get back together. And it's so mean, but they love each other so much.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Of course, you cow." And then there's anyway, they're very good. Of course,
you cow.
They're very good as a unit.
All right.
God damn it.
The A&E
miniseries.
A&E BBC, Allison Steadman is Mrs. Bennett, who
God,
if we were doing Bennett separately, she might be my choice.
She'd be my choice, but yeah.
Let me see what I can find. Mr.
Just remember
Benjamin Whitrow.
Okay, so Steadman and Whitrow.
But we actually watched 11 P&P.
What did we forget?
Wickham.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, let's remind ourselves we've been doing this for a year, over a year now.
No life, because we've been recording a podcast.
I don't think that I can put forward the Bennett parents from Pride and Prejudice because I only remember Mrs. Bennett.
Yeah,
I also only remember Mrs. Bennett.
I remember Mr. Bennett, but it's not the pairing. Mrs. Bennett is the I don't the pairing
I don't know
part,
if I've got another one.
Yeah, the pairing part throws it for a loop, especially because some of the adaptations we watched didn't have a pairing. We Death Comes to Pemberley. We never see Mrs. Bennett.
No, we see both of them.
We do.
Yeah, they show up at the very end, remember?
And no, they show up in episode 2 because she shows up at the worst possible time and totally freaks out. And then Mr. Bennett is like,
"That's right, they got to keep her drugged."
Please, please come let me search for a murderer with you. Anything to get me away from my wife.
Yeah, that's right. I only remember him because he was so good. I loved
She's good too. I'm pulling up their names right now. This is a good choice.
Then let's put them on the list because I do remember Mr. Bennett more than I remember Mrs. Bennett.
I do too.
But I mean, he was so good.
I very much remember
James Fleet and Rebecca Front.
Yeah, let's throw them
Front and Fleet. Okay, that's our 4. All right, here we go. Blethyn and Sutherland of Joe Wright's 2005 PP, starring the amazing Keira Knightley. 6. That's
6.
low.
That is low.
We might have to adjust that one.
Let's see how we roll out, and then we can begin to cheat.
Well, can we give them a double damage because that was in 2006? I mean, just like a double. Like they got a 6 produced in 2006, so they get a 12.
2005.
So that means that they still get a 12.
Just wait. We're going to cheat in a minute.
We'll cheat in a moment. Just hold on to your cheating ways.
Hold up.
Okay. Broadbent and is it Gemma Jones?
Yes. I can't believe I pulled that. Ooh!
I just really want to get these people's names right because I would have put respect on their names because they're fucking good at their job.
Correctly.
All right. Broadbent and Jones from Bridget Jones' Diary. 18. Oof. Hard to beat.
That is good.
I mean, I think Jim Broadbent is no joke one of the best actors on the planet. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna quibble with that one.
I think that's
I'm not mad about it because his Mr. Bennett, even though it's not the pair of them, but his Mr. Bennett really taps into the kind of melancholy and sadness of Mr. Bennett, I think, deeper than a lot of the other ones do.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland kind of gets there.
Yeah.
All right. Whitrow and Stedman. This is from Death Comes to Pemberley.
No. That's PPE, BB, AE.
Oh, thank you. Yes, the OG in my mind. My PPs.
Yeah.
My Bennett PPs.
Mm-hmm.
I love them very much. All right, here we go. 15.
Respectable.
And then Front and Fleet from Death Comes to Pemberley. 6.
Yeah.
I feel like Blethen and Sutherland should get a cheat.
Let's review our scores for us.
Blethen and Sutherland 6, Broadbent and Jones 18, Whitrow and Stedman 15, Front and Fleet 6.
All right. We're going to dismiss Front and Fleet despite their incredibly appealing names when paired together.
Yes, goodbye.
Au revoir, Front Fleet. Fleet Front. I feel like maybe the way to go about this is to narrow to 2 and re-roll.
Okay.
I was not expecting this to be quite so hotly contested, but
I feel like the winner's won.
They're also different. Like very, very different. So if you were going to boot one of these pairings off the island, Julie, which one would you boot?
Oh, I unfortunately, just based on the fact that the adaptation isn't quote unquote like straightforward, I would take out Jim Broadbent and Jim Jones.
Oh, Julie, I'm sorry, Janine, what about you?
No, I would actually boot BBC A&E Nemesis.
God, she's the best Mrs. Bennett.
She is, but that is not the best Mr. Bennett.
Oh God, I love him too, but you might be right.
Yeah, like she is a great Mrs. Bennett, but we're doing pairings, and he is not the best Mr. Bennett.
I will tell you this: it is very possible that Allison, what's her name? Stedman. That
yes.
Allison Stedman could get her due in episode 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see something coming up the pike that I don't know anything about, and I'm just gonna like rest, relax, and let God.
All right. So let's re-roll for Ma and Pa Jones of the Turkey Curry Buffet.
Okay.
And for
the Canadian and his lady love.
Yes, the Canadian and his lady love.
Okay, so we're going to start with Blethen and Sutherland from Joe Wright's 2005 PP, starring Keira Knightley. 18. Okay, and then we've got Broadbent and Jones from Bridget Jones' Diary. 1 critical fail.
You know what?
Plus 19.
Just like their marriage did in the movie.
You know what? You're right. All right. Blethen
but
and
they
Sutherland.
pulled it together. They pulled it together.
I think Blethen and Sutherland win this, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, they
those are good showings.
If nothing else, they made them real people, which so did Broadbent and Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Real people. Mm-hmm. But they're very good. Donald Sutherland, he'll just break your fucking heart.
Yeah.
He really will.
He'll just get right in there in your heart.
He did.
All right, who's next?
Okay. Best Jane.
Best Jane.
All right, I'm going Rosamund Pike. Joe Wright.
2005. Rosamund Pike.
Julie.
I really like what's her name from A&E BBC PP. Let me look her up. Susanna Harker.
Yeah. God, I know her fucking name. What's wrong with me? Janine.
You know, this is an outlier, but I'd like to nominate the Jane from Death Comes to Pemberley. We get one episode. We get one scene with her.
All right.
Right. What did they do? Remind me of the scene.
It's
She shows up to fetch Mother.
yeah,
That's right.
and essentially kind of wrangles Mother plus Lydia for a half a minute.
You just do what Jane do.
Yeah, do what Jane do, and she
Jane do Jane.
And it's a very quick scene, but she accomplished the task of showing that she is Lizzie's, best friend and sister, right? Like she's got her back. She knows what's needed. Like she showed up and did the job. So
that is Alexandra Moen, Doctor Who royalty, Alexandra Moen, best known as the wife of the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister is actually the Master in a truly batshit crazy series of episodes.
That was a nuts
Lucy
scenario.
Saxon.
That was a lot going on there.
Lucy Saxon.
Yeah.
And then I want to throw in the Jane from Bride and Prejudice. I'm looking up right now, who is just like radiantly beautiful. And
holds it
cool.
And holds it down. Like, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Why am I
her
not?
name is Namrata Shirodkar.
Namrata Shirodkar.
All right.
Okay. So we're starting out with rolling out best Janes on the 2005 Jane, Rosamund Pike. She gone, girl.
That was a Gone Girl joke.
8. We'll come back. Man. Save the cheating for second round.
Yeah.
All right. Susanna Harker, 1995, A&E, BBC, PP, Nemesis. 17.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Alexandra Moen. I tried to find a picture of her so I could jog my memory, and it wasn't in the Google listing of the cast, so I'm going to have to go in and find it. But I do remember her coming to help take control of the.
She's a one-scene wonder. It's a good. It's a good scene, but it's quick.
She did get a 20 though. That's going to be reviewed.
I mean, when you're good, you're good. You know.
No, come on.
I know.
And then Namrat Shankar from Pride and Prejudice is an 8. That doesn't. That doesn't seem high enough.
That doesn't seem high enough.
Here's my proposed cheat. Everything that Jane thinks is true, it turns out the opposite is true, because she thinks that Bingley doesn't love her because he leaves, and she thinks that Caroline Bingley is her friend, and it's really the opposite. So I think it should be the opposite.
Okay.
So the 20 should be a 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 20 should be a 1. What's on the other side of the die from a 6?
From an 8, it's 13.
Oh, from an 8, yeah.
Let's say that changes 2 of them. And from a 17, it is a 4. That's wrong.
Who was that one?
That was A&E, BBC, PP, Susanna Harker.
Well, but I feel like that was the most accurate portrayal of the reversal. Therefore, double negative keeps 17.
Okay. So that means she wins.
All right. Let's slow this up a little bit. I think let's narrow. So what are our scores once we did all of that nonsense?
13, 17, 1, and 13.
Who are the 2 13s?
Rosamund Pike and Namrat Shankar. Let's get rid of Death Comes to Pemberley.
Yeah, she's out.
She's out. Good showing. She deserved to be on the list, but yeah.
Not enough Jane for ranking sake.
Yeah.
Do you just want to re-roll these 3? Or do we just want to say probably either Rosamund Pike or A&E, BBC, PP, Susanna Harker?
I mean, I think it's a battle of the blondes.
It is a battle of the blondes. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry, Namrat. You are very good.
You are very good, and you are stunningly beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Are we rolling off between Rosamund and Susanna?
Roll it off.
Yeah, let's just roll it off.
Okay. Rosamund Pike, second roll, 7. Susanna Harker, second roll, 12. She's been ahead the entire time. She wins.
Yeah, but counterpoint, she's never murdered somebody and let their blood run all over her body
I apparently
You have
missed
not
out
seen
on
Gone Girl?
I apparently missed out on a very good movie.
It is a very good movie.
It's good. I don't know.
I
if
think
I'd
it's
say
great.
Very
I think
good.
it weaponizes Ben Affleck's persona against him in a fantastic way.
Cool.
And Rosamund Pike is terrifying.
She's
Straight
very
up
scary.
terrifying.
Okay, I need to watch this movie. I'll watch it. I'm on a Hayazaki kick right now, but maybe I'll go over to Gone Girl for a little while.
The way Rosamund Pike in that movie, it's like she looks like at any moment she might either become the best friend you've ever had or reach forward with her teeth and bite your nose off. Like permanently.
That's the vibe I've already got of her. So to be in a movie where she really could kill me, okay.
Well, if that's the case, then it should be Susanna Harker because Jane Bennett, not a murderer.
No.
Not a murderer. Not a
Also,
murderer.
you know what? Susanna Harker, every time somebody tries to tell me that she's not a good Jane, the complaint is always that she is not pretty enough.
Fuck
And it
off.
pisses me off every time.
That's bullshit. She's lovely.
She's beautiful. And also what they seem to be responding specifically like to the hair, which is
the
a
wig.
which is a
That's not her
period
fault.
thing.
Mhm.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Susanna
Yeah,
Harker it is.
she
All right.
wins.
Mhm.
Next. Best golden retriever.
Oh, best Bingley.
Mhm.
um.
I want to go ahead and proactively narrow this to 2.
Okay.
This is
I
another
think that's fair.
battle of the blondes.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So is it best golden retriever or best Bingley?
It's best Bingley,
Both.
but best golden retriever.
But if we're doing good best golden retriever, I want to throw in the barrister from Death Comes to Pemberley. Because
he's not a golden retriever, though.
He's got golden retriever energy.
Oh no, he has like bulldog energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the barrister. You're right. He is kind of right.
Yeah.
The hot shit young lawyer that
Georgiana's all into.
that Georgiana falls in love with.
Yeah.
He's got golden retriever
James
energy.
Norton, but he's also like
He might be too smart.
That's what I think. He's savvy.
Yeah, he might be too smart.
But he's savvy in an honest way, which I think golden retrievers are.
Golden retrievers.
But here's the thing: when you apply
No.
the term golden retriever to a human being, that's not what you mean.
Yeah, it
Okay.
intimates super friendliness and maybe not a lot going on upstairs.
Like,
Okay.
if not lack of
liked him.
intelligence, definite naivete.
I liked him so much, and he's
He's
not gonna-
great.
He's not
Well,
going
there's
to
a
Keep him on the
there's a
back
whole
burner.
category for him, hun.
Oh, okay.
Don't
good.
worry about
Okay.
it.
We'll get there.
He's going to get
Okay,
his
okay.
due.
He will. If you want
One
him
and
to get
done.
his due, he shall.
Yeah.
I want him to get his due.
Mhm.
Okay. So
So
we've
what's
got
his name? Bonham Carter from.
Crispin Bonham Carter.
Thank you.
Can't believe I remembered that.
And that's from A&E BBC.
Yeah, I mean, talking about golden retriever energy.
Oh yeah.
I think he needs a
then-
proficiency bonus, frankly.
Well, he does have a legacy bonus. Bonham Carter.
They're, I believe, distantly related, which seems weird because the name is so specific, but
Mhm.
but I believe that they are distantly related. Hold up. Where is my man? Simon Woods.
And that's from 2005, Joe Wrights.
Yes.
I
correct.
believe that those are the two best ones to duke it out.
Roll 'em.
All right.
Yeah.
Crispin, 7. Simon, 1. Critical fail.
I don't agree.
He gets a bonus. He gets a +10 solely for the moment when he tries to grab the ribbon on the back of her dress.
It's such a good
Ooh,
moment. He
ribbon
gets so
grab.
distracted by it.
And also the scene where he takes Darcy out to the pond to try to
Oh my
talk
God.
through
Yeah.
and they role play. You know what? I'm giving it to him.
Never
I'm giving
mind.
it to him. It's
No
him.
more dice. He wins.
He
He
wins.
wins.
He wins.
And what's his last name again?
Woods,
Woods.
right? No, I'm double
Yeah.
checking. Yes,
Fucking
Simon
Yeah, he
Woods.
wins. Best golden retriever.
All
best
right.
golden retriever.
We're gonna move a little bit faster. This is my fault. I'm the one hemming and hawing. Best Lydia.
Death Comes to Pemberley. Fucking
Yeah.
Oh,
man,
you know
She
what?
might be
That's-
hard to beat.
Open and shut.
Yeah. I don't.
for whatever reason I wasn't even thinking about Death Comes
Olivia
to Pemberley.
Coleman. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not
Because
Olivia
Julia
Coleman.
Sawalha from the miniseries, also very good. Jenna Malone, divisive performance, but I think she's excellent. It's Death Comes to Pemberley. You're absolutely right.
And what's that actress's name? She's in everything.
Jenna Coleman.
Jenna Coleman.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Jenna
I knew it was
Coleman.
Coleman, but then I said Olivia Coleman, and I'm like, wrong Coleman.
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
that one's definitive.
Yes.
It's hard. It really is hard to beat that. She
It's
just
one of
knocked it out
my
of the park.
favorite scenes from any of the adaptations we've watched. When you
Mhm.
watch her talking about why she acts the way she does and what she knows about him, and then she turns it back on again. Oh, it'll
Mhm.
gut ya.
Just so fucking good. And like that might
Speaking of, we've got best Wickham next, but after that is best scene. So let's do our Wickhams. You know what? Let's not. No, never mind. I apologize. We can narrow this one to 2 unless you have any objections. Maybe 3.
Keep going.
Because to me, there's Adrian Lucas, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in
PB
2 of
Nemesis.
he's in 2 of ours.
To me, he is the definitive
The
Wickham.
definitive Wickham.
Yeah.
The Wickham from the 2005 Who Cares, right?
Yeah.
No.
There.
Oh, a fucking Matthew Good from Death Comes to Pemberley.
Yeah, Matthew Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
he's in the
it's
mix.
all
so
about
it's so
him
it
at
is
the end.
4. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna say these. So it's Adrian Lucas, it's Matthew Good, it's God, who was the third one before the fourth one? Because I need to save the fourth one. 2005. Wishbone.
Oh God.
yeah.
And now I'm poor.
Now I'm poor. Please look that up because once again,
Will
let's
you
put some
look that
respect
one
on
up,
that name.
Janine?
He had one line.
I know,
One
but it
No,
was
he had more than one line.
but
it
that
was
one line was so strong.
Distilled to the essence of Wickham.
The very essence.
And
the
now I'm
shivering skeleton
just
laid bare.
No,
But now I'm poor.
Yeah. I'm in process. I'm looking.
And
up
then
right
the
now.
fourth. This is the spoiler. Are you ready? Everything you thought you knew about this conversation is about to disappear.
Hmm.
Hugh Grant.
God damn it. Yeah.
Daniel
Shit.
Cleaver, folks.
You know what? I'm willing to narrow this down to Matthew Good and Hugh Grant. And that's saying something that I'm taking Adrian Lucas out of it.
But
Adrian Lucas can't get out of it.
Okay. All right.
oh, you didn't watch the play though.
That's right. He has extra Wickham energy. He has big Wickham energy. Like
Big
He's-
Wick energy.
he's never going to let it go.
What was the name of this fucking Wishbone episode? First impressions, right?
Yes, first impressions with a U.
I kind of want to go watch it again right now.
First impressions.
Now I'm poor.
Now
Honorable
I'm
mention.
poor.
Contender for the
Oh.
best line reading.
But maybe not in the best Wickham category.
I might voluntarily say best line reading in any adaptation we saw, with the exception of when Keira Knightley stands up and looks at Pemberley and just laughs. Yeah, tie. But I'm poor. In both cases, distill a whole complicated thing down to a teeny tiny comprehensible nugget.
First impressions. Wickham. His name is Joe Nemmers. Nemmers.
Joe
Okay.
Nemmers, respect,
Respect, you're not going to win.
honorable mention.
Mhm. All right. So Adrian Lucas,
Ooh.
does he get it? He's got to get some kind of bonus, right?
I mean, he's OG.
Let's see what the dice say.
6. Unacceptable.
with a proficiency bonus in deception +6.
We'll come back.
Okay.
We're gonna
Cheating's on the
cheat
second
after.
round.
Okay.
Matthew Good. Somebody's ringing my doorbell. He gets a 19 though.
He's very handsome.
He is very.
But you know
He's
what?
very
He
handsome.
might get a negative bonus for the wine show. Let's continue.
He made a choice there. Totally. Yeah.
He did make a choice. Joe Nemmers does not get a
He's out.
roll.
Honorable
Doesn't get a
mention.
roll.
Honorable
No,
mention,
honorable
not
mention.
rolling. And then Hugh
Respect.
Grant. Woof. 6 again. Mm-mm.
That's definitely going to need a cheat.
Yeah.
Okay. Adrian Lucas is 6. That's unacceptable.
I think maybe with this one, briefly, do we all have a different dog in this hunt? Julie, who is your number one?
It would be a very tight squeeze between either Adrian Lucas or Hugh Grant.
What about you, Janine?
Hugh Grant's great, but I think Adrian Lucas is. No. Nah. Fuck. It's between Adrian Lucas and Hugh Grant for me.
For me too. So Matthew Good is very good.
You're the best, but not for this.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
As
you get-
RuPaul says, but this is not your time.
Yes.
You got a negative
Sachet
18 for
away.
doing negative 18 for doing that wine show.
Yeah. So you're out.
What? You got
Sorry.
like a -6 for doing the wine show.
All right, here we go. We're gonna roll.
You get a
off.
-18 for always wearing just one too many buttons unbuttoned on the wine show.
Yes. Too many. Dude, we're trying to watch a show here. Stop
He
distracting
looks like
us.
he's in Bachelor in Paradise, which is a compliment, but also
A
not
button.
a compliment.
Yeah.
Every time at the end of the show, when he would turn to look at the camera to like announce something, Neil would always go, because his eyes are so striking. So yeah, he's out.
Stop
Okay.
looking at me.
All right.
All
So
right.
we're gonna roll off between Adrian Lucas and Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
All right. Adrian Lucas, 13. Seems right.
That actually seems close to right.
Bad
yeah.
luck. He bad luck.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
Hugh Grant.
Grant,
Come on, Huey.
15.
I mean,
I was going to give him a bonus just for falling out of the boat and then standing up with the cigarette still hanging out of his mouth
Mm-hmm.
for that alone.
yeah. I think it's Hugh
We're
Grant.
giving it to Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Also, frankly, with Wickham, the sexiness has got to be a tiebreaker because you have to believe that all these people would wreck their fucking lives over this dude.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Adrian, Lucas is
Lucas-
very handsome, but he doesn't
Good-looking
have the
man,
same.
but Hugh
sex
Grant
appeal.
could wreck my life today.
Mm-hmm.
Today.
Mm-hmm. All right, Hugh Grant. Cool.
Respect. We'll
Cool.
see you again when we get to Sense and Sensibility, Hugh.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
All right. Best scene. 3 nominees. You get to pick one from all
Charlotte
of
in
these adaptations.
2005.
Yeah.
Charlotte's
That's
monologue.
on that list. Jesus. Best scene.
Janine, your turn.
Fuck. Go, Allison. If you got one in your head. Because I'm
Oh, well, I mean, I was going to pick, dude, you don't want me leaving you for last. You want to, because I've got like 15 I could choose from.
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
Go.
one. First impressions, Caroline Bingley, Backbend.
A very good
Simpson. Mhm.
respect. A very good choice. I'm gonna go with the pond into the surprise meeting in the miniseries. A classic.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that is a classic.
All
That
right.
is That is a classic.
Mhm.
Those are 3 good
A&E
ones.
Pond to meeting.
Those are our 3 nominees, all worthy. Obviously could have chosen many more.
There are so many other options. We're a little hindered.
It's Raining Men and Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're a little hindered by my
No
lack of
Life Without
memory.
Wife.
No life.
Yep,
without
No Life Without Wife. Oh God.
I think
wanna-
we had No Life Without Wife.
No
Yes,
life
we
without
do.
wife. That's
Yeah.
on there.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's such a good scene. Fun song. Fun choreograph.
Oh
But-
yeah, everything. The sisters fucking
Yeah.
dishing it out in that slumber party situation. It's the best.
It's
All right.
shot. Oh God, everything
There's
about that.
also Lydia coming up screaming in the carriage because Wickham ran into the woods after death and she's losing her fucking mind and fainting on the stairs and it's chaos. That's good too. Anyway. Remind
here
me,
we
what
go.
are our nominees?
Charlotte Lucas, please look up the actress that played her in Joe Wright.
Doing it now.
But I know we've said her
Claudia
name.
Blakely in
That's
a
right.
scene written by Nemesis herself, Emma Thompson.
Ugh, what an amazing marriage of script and performance.
And
It is-
staging because she's on that tire swing and she
Mhm.
does all the spinning and then she does it again and it's like, yeah, that's a
There's
really
a lot.
great.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
Oh,
amazing
God, she was so
sequence.
good. It might be, in my humble opinion, the best acted moment out of any of it.
Yeah.
It's very
All
good.
right, here we go. Claudia Blakely in 2005, Joe Wright, 11, too low.
Too low.
Okay, Wishbone, Caroline Bingley, Backbend. Then we got Jeannie Simpson on our podcast. 5, absolutely not.
Fuck that.
Which we'll cheat after we roll.
Yep,
Yeah.
A&E Pond a meeting, 6,000. I don't even have to roll.
I heard the dice roll and somehow there was more
It was-
numbers added there.
No, it was my nipples getting hard and it made a sound when I thought about fucking Colin Firth coming out of that fucking pond.
I didn't realize those were glass dice. You broke them.
Man. All right, I'll roll. 17 seems appropriate. Plus
Respectable.
plus 3,000.
Plus
All right,
3,000.
and then No Life Without Wife, also great. 11.
Okay, tell us our scores.
Claudia Blakely, Charlotte Lucas monologue is 11. Wishbone, Caroline Bingley, Jeannie Simpson backbend is 5. A&E Pond, a meeting is 17. And No Life Without Wife is 11. Actually, I think this is open and shut. It's the A&E Pond. It's got to be. There's no cheating.
But I would like to give some proficiency bonuses to the backbend. So for the number of degrees beyond what we expected, I think that's we probably have to use pi to some extent, but let's say it's another, what she had
90. It's 90 degrees.
90 degrees. 90
so
degrees
95?
More. 95.
Right. And then Charlotte gets a plus 27 for one for each of her unmarried years.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
All right. And then No Life Without Wife gets a she gets a no life da 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 without wife da 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 19 plus 19.
That was well done.
And then Julie, as you already said, you rolled the glass dice, your nipples got hard, and it got plus 6,000. So it's
plus 6,000.
Plus 6,000.
Yeah.
Next is best smooch.
Best smooch. Ooh.
Best smooch.
Fucking.
I mean, I think this one is open and shut.
I think so.
I think it's
too.
2005.
2005. That fucking sunset.
No.
What's yours?
Run through the snow in her underwear. Stand it out. I bought you a new diary.
That is a good smooch, but
nice boys don't kiss like that. Oh yes, they fucking do.
We're rolling off between two.
We're rolling then. We're rolling.
B. Jones versus Sunrise tonsil hockey.
Oh yeah, Sunrise tonsil hockey. Yeah. Or it could even be ending scene, because that was a nice kiss at the end too, when after they got like hooked up.
Man, yeah, but Julie doesn't like it because she says Mrs. Darcy.
Mrs. Darcy. Mrs. is fucking pablum. I don't like it.
Fair enough. Sunset.
All right.
Sunrise.
B. Jones in the snow in a trainers, large sweater.
Oh yes,
running
they
to
fucking do.
The stationers. 9. Too low.
Way too low.
Way too.
Sunrise tonsil hockey. 8. Looks like Bridget Jones' Diary wins.
Yeah.
You know what?
Those are close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing about that kiss. It's very good, but it is not the sexiest moment in that movie.
You're right. When they're fighting is way sexier for some reason. What do you think the sexiest moment is?
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Oh, hand flex.
Also the dancing.
Yeah. All right. We're giving it to Bridget Jones.
Come on, the rain. Proposal rain. Also, when she's wandering around and looks at the big statue of him, and then she looks in the door and he looks up and sees her.
Yes.
Oh, that moment was fucking.
Yeah. However, none of those is as hot as Colin Firth going, oh, yes, they fucking do.
Yeah. All right.
Good job.
B. Jones wins best smooch.
All right. Best Lady Catherine de Bourgh. Another hotly contested category.
Is it?
I put forth Lena Headey from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Lena Headey. Lena from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Cersei Lannister.
Yes. I put forth
Dame Judi Dench, man.
I mean, Dame Judi Dench. She's got to be there.
Yeah. That's mine. I don't have another one.
Oh, well, I do.
I really like the woman from A&E BBC PD.
That's who I'm pulling up right now.
Mm-hmm.
She was good.
Because her fight scene with Lizzie, I think, is my favorite. Even though Judi Dench's is very good, it's so like dour and like mean that it doesn't hit me the same way as the A&E BBC PP one does. It's more like...
Yeah, her name is Barbara Lee Hunt. And I think the reason it's so good is because it's so obviously a tantrum as opposed to like...
An attack.
Right. And they're both very good. And obviously Judi Dench is, I mean, like Judy, I feel small. And I watched it like 2 months ago. Like I still feel small just from watching that scene. But the like petulance and inability to cope that she goes throughout the movie, right? Like even just with when Lizzie is like, but I think it would be hard on younger sisters would not promote sisterly affection if they must wait on the older to be married. And she's like, you speak your opinion very decidedly for your age.
Dude, I do love her.
She's very good.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. Lena Headey, Cersei Lannister.
Is that
That's
it?
three.
That's it, right? I don't really remember.
I liked the Lady Catherine from the Laurence Olivier Greer Garson, but the way that they used her was so terrible that I can't put her in this.
That's not her fault, but it's a big adaptation problem. Yeah.
But the adaptation was so shitty that I'm like, I'm sorry, you don't rate.
You know what would have been, it's the only way I can think to improve the Wishbone PP is if Lady Catherine had been played by the guy who played Mr. Wickham and they had that confrontation scene and Joe Nemmers. And so it was just him in drag, like Bonnet, right? And he goes, but I'm rich. That's the only way.
That would be hilarious.
Okay. Roll for these three.
Cersei Lannister, she of the eye patch. 6.
That's too low.
Dame Judi Dench. 16. Seems right.
That's on there. That's good.
Barbara Lee Hunt. 17.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Here's the thing about Judi Dench, though. She gets a -8, one for every moment of screen time in Shakespeare in Love, which won her an Oscar.
You're right.
Okay. Okay.
So then we've narrowed to 2. So then the question becomes, who gets the bigger bonus? Lena Headey for swords play bonus, because come on, that's rad. Or Barbara Lee Hunt getting a bonus for one for each of Rosing's windows.
I think my heart goes with Barbara Lee Hunt on this one. It does.
Yep.
I love the fight scene. It's my favorite of the
it's the highlight of the zombies for sure.
Yeah. I just,
except for when we see Wickham charging back with a horde of zombies at his back.
Still waiting for that sequel.
That's obviously high.
Still waiting for that sequel. Is that going to be the sequel to Death Comes to Pemberley? That's their adaptation of Death Comes to Pemberley for the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
When zombies show up.
Yeah. Death Comes to Pemberley.
What we really need to do is get a little bit deeper into whether or not Darcy made it all happen on purpose. Remember?
Another time. A debate for another day.
I'm putting my foot down. Barbara Lee Hunt. Like she would. Barbara Lee Hunt of A&E, BBC, PP, Nemesis is our best lady, Catherine. All right.
That's costumes. I put forth Bridget Jones's Diary.
They're good.
Iconic.
Joe writes those.
I like those too.
Yeah, those costumes are on point, and I don't have another one. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I do have another one. Christmas Comes to Pemberley.
Christmas at Pemberley Manor?
You mean Christmas at Pemberley Manor, the terrible Hallmark film we watched?
Yeah, it deserved to be said.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor and play Off-Brand Yakety Sax right now. And we're back. This is just an announcement to let you know that Sickburn Jane is officially hiring a third co-host. Just let us know if you'd like to apply. We have one requirement: you can't have shitty fucking taste.
Oh, I made it this long.
I know.
I don't know. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That did it.
No, let's just leave it. Let's leave it with the miniseries.
No, wait. I might have to put forth Pride and Prejudice for 2 reasons.
Mr.
Number
Coley.
1, the what do you call that print? Burberry bikini.
Yes, the Burberry bikini and
God,
Mr. Coley's fucking Smash Mouth necklace.
And the snake dance outfit.
Yes. Okay. You know what? Yes. And at that point, we may as well add the miniseries because the miniseries costumes are also lovely.
Is there a choreography bracket?
Snake dance?
No. Just in general. Or is there a choreography
Pride and Prejudice would win every time. I mean, you've got the ball sequences and stuff, and they're all great, but Pride and Prejudice would kick everybody's ass.
As long as we're just, I mean, if we just need to add that in just to say they won.
They won.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely won.
They won. Okay, A&E BBC PPE costumes, which are fine, but they don't inspire like excitement.
They're not incredibly creative, but they're very well done.
They're well done, but they're not like, they don't stand
Okay,
out.
knock them out. All right.
Okay.
Knock them out. Just the 3.
All right, BJD. Tiny skirt. 9. That's too low.
That is too low.
Joe Wright. 8. Also too low.
Yeah.
Pride and Prejudice. 13. Seems about right.
That does seem.
I want to give Bridget Jones' Diary a plus 15 bonus for the moment when she comes downstairs to the turkey buffet in her mom's carpet dress.
All right. What's the bonus?
That would, I say plus 15 for all the years that she lived in their house or whatever. Plus 15.
And I'm going to add an additional plus 2, 1 for each of Darcy's Christmas jumpers.
Oh,
perfect.
That puts that at 26.
Great.
Joe Wright is at 8. But I really did think that the costumes in that movie were great because they contributed to the more realistic.
Let's do a
feeling.
Plus 12 for all of the inches of Judi Dench's wig.
And a plus, what's the number we're going to add for the sweeping nature of Matthew McFadden's duster? It swept me away.
That's it. I mean, that's 3 feet of extra fabric. So we got to add
plus 3.
36 inches. 36 inches.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one's winning now.
Yeah. That seems right.
And Pride and Prejudice, the costumes are great, but it's really those 2 that we mentioned earlier that really stand out to me because of how specific they are to the characters.
Yeah.
To me, that might be a case for them to win. But I don't think overall the costumes are better than Joe Wright.
Also, I'm sorry, there are too many cargo shorts in that movie for me to allow an out and out victory.
Okay, you're right. So it's between BJD and I think it's Joe Wright.
I'm just waiting for cargo pants to come back in style. I haven't worn shorts since they
I
went
mean,
out of style.
The costumes for Bridget Jones are incredible, but Joe Wright.
I think it's Joe Wright. Like the sweaty armpits and the like everything, like the fact that you could smell what it was like when you're just looking at it like that. That I think that's important.
That was the full picture.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna cut the next one because we're running low on time. So we're gonna swing past most hand flexiness because the winner is obviously the 2005
hand
because
they have the hand flex.
Yeah. So we've got 3 more. And I think I'm also going to skip the next one and say we're going to save it for when we do Darcy Bowl.
Okay.
Which is the next one is the best Lizzie.
Yes, I think you can't have one without the other, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah. We're saving the best Lizzie and Darcy for the end of the whole venture.
Yes.
Great. Then we got 2 more. Best adaptation to date. Who's your number 1 boy, as Brian Cox in Succession says? Of all the ones we've seen.
Shit.
Julie.
If we're speaking of adaptation just alone, I might put forth Pride and Prejudice because of the addition, the kind of like seamless addition of the colonial critique.
Yeah.
Which I thought was so cool. And I did not expect that would be part of Pride and Prejudice. And it just went in so well because the original source material already has like little things to hang those things on or hooks to hang those ideas on.
But it's always so glossed over because it's like, when it's told from the European perspective, we tend to just fucking like go at it, like just forget about it. But they did such a great job of hitting that nail on the head.
So that to me was the most interesting choice that worked so well and I think made that adaptation stand out.
What about you, Janine? Who's your number 1 boy?
So Joe Wright's it speaks to me as like the filmmaker part where it's just so fucking pretty. It's just such a great package. Everything about it is so good. And the story is, they took out things. We didn't get the joy of hating Mr. Wickham as much and all that jazz. So I would actually, Julie's point makes me want to say Pride and Prejudice, but I'll throw in Joe Wright's just because it's beautiful, and I think it does as an adaptation for a feature length film. I think it's done really well, but it's like pretty straight, true to what the story is. But I think it's my second place.
I think that I'm going to go with Bridget Jones. And here's why. The miniseries is a great adaptation, but it's also, from a screenwriting perspective, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's not, the reason that it feels like they didn't have to cut anything is they really didn't have to cut anything.
They didn't.
Yeah.
So
They
like
had 6 hours.
they
Yeah.
did cut things, but not a lot of them.
Mhm.
And they don't have, there's not one scene, with the exception of the pond, there's not one scene where I'm like, wow, that changed the way that I see Pride and Prejudice.
Right.
Whereas Charlotte Lucas and Joe Wright,
Mhm.
all of the stuff you already mentioned in Pride and Prejudice, and obviously the really thoughtful contemporary update in Bridget Jones, those elements just aren't present.
Yeah.
So when we eventually pick our number one PP overall, then the miniseries is obviously, it's my PP. It will be in the hunt.
Mhm.
But I think for adaptation, I'm going to leave that
Mhm.
one out in the cold.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Pride and Prejudice. 7. Joe Wright. 16. BJD. 4. All right. I'm going to go to the mat and say that out of these 3, Joe Wright's is not the best script adaptation,
I'll agree.
even though it just rolled the highest.
I think it's a relatively straightforward adaptation.
And it's you're right about the filmmaking, but the actual script itself doesn't have as much interesting things to say as either Bridget Jones or Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, I agree with that. They hit some nice points, like with Charlotte, but like I agree.
Right.
Totally
Right.
agree.
Okay, I'm knocking Joe Wright out.
Okay.
Sorry, bye. All right, let's roll off again between Pride and Prejudice and BJD. Pride and Prejudice gets 12 this time. BJD gets 17. I'm okay with BJD winning.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was a closer race, but you know what? I am okay with that too.
I'm okay with it. It
All
is
right.
a really good adaptation.
It's a very good adaptation. We have got, I was wrong. There are 2 more.
Oh God, this finish line keeps moving.
I know.
We
Sorry.
got this.
I shortened the finish line, but then I realized that I somehow missed the really important catch-all category, which originally it was the best worst Mary, but we're just going to say the best worst everyone who isn't somebody we've already talked about. Your one and dones, your smaller roles.
Oh, I already know mine.
Go, Julie.
Indira Varma from Pride and Prejudice is Caroline
Great.
Bingley.
Great. The Caroline Bingley character.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yes.
This is the best.
Her name was best or
Indira
worst,
Varma.
whatever.
Best or worst? Oh, well then, hopefully
No,
Sorry.
no, it was best worst Mary. That was it's just your one and done or various assorted supporting.
I don't understand the assignment.
Support any supporting character.
Any great performance you really liked that we haven't already mentioned. This is your opportunity
But
for
the
what's
best,
his face
but
from Death
not-
Comes to Pemberley.
But not the worst.
Yes, not the worst.
Not
Just the best. Yes, then the barrister from Death Comes to Pemberley.
Okay.
Because he was very good and he doesn't really have a spot otherwise. And he deserves a spot. And on that point too, like Georgiana in that adaptation also deserves the spot here. She was very good.
So that is, hold on.
The young guy that James Norton played.
Yeah, James Norton.
The barrister.
And her
Alveston.
name is God, I know that actress's name. Fucking shit. It's
Eleanor Tomlinson.
yes, thank you. And I'm gonna go with, now I need my thing open again. Mary from the miniseries.
Yeah.
There's really something
Where
about
thou art laid of fair maid.
there really is something about Mary. you know?
Oh no.
Oh God. damn it.
I've been
All
sitting
right.
on that for a year.
You're fine.
Dear
Mary
listeners,
Bennett, Lucy Briars.
Lucy Briars. Okay,
Roll it.
here we go. Indira Varma as Kieran, the Caroline Bingley of Bride and Prejudice. She of the Burberry bikini. 16 seems about right.
that's honest.
James Norton as Alveston, our heart of gold barrister with progressive ideas. In Death Comes to Pemberley, 15. Respectable.
Respectable number. I agree with that. That makes
Eleanor
sense.
Tomlinson, Georgiana in Death Comes to Pemberley. She did a very good job. 7, too low.
That is too-
Lucy Briars is Mary in A&E BBC PB. 17. It looks like it's going to be a hunt between Indira Varma, James Norton, and Lucy Briars.
Well, Indira Varma and Lucy Briars are both going to end up for sure in the bracket episode. So let's call it a tie between them because they're going to make it over anyway.
Okay.
With
And so
honorable mentions to our young lovers from Death Come to Pemberley, who are both wonderful.
yes, so we're going to let James have this one. We're going to let the barrister with a heart of gold win this one.
I think it's a tie between him. I think he and Georgiana share that title.
Great.
Okay, that seems right.
Because I think he's only as good as she is. Like he brings the energy and she brings the energy. They both work well together. So
You're right.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What is it?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, sorry. Sickest burn.
Sickest burn. When I got kicked off the show.
No, that was just justice.
Man, sickest burn.
Sickest burn.
I'm going to go wear whatever dress you have is the finest. This is David Bamber. Lady Catherine will not mind your dress. She likes to have the distinction of rank preserved.
That's pretty good. We're going to say rank preserved, Bamber. I also think that the Caroline Bingley in the A&E BBC PP gets off a really sick burn when she talks about how the soldiers are leaving Meryton and how it must be hard on their family.
Oh, yeah.
That's a deep sick burn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. That's mine.
Janine, do you want to throw one in the mix?
I can't think of any. I know there's so many great burns across this.
Well, I've got another one then.
Yeah.
This is a Darcy from Bridget Jones. Don't want to talk to a spinster who curses like a sailor, drinks like a fish, and dresses like her mother.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's good.
Turkey curry, yummy.
All right. So that's 3.
All right.
Do we want to?
I can't think of another one that really I'm sure Lydia has one somewhere or Mrs. Bennett has one somewhere, but their burns almost seem like unconscious. Like when they burn, they don't know they're burning. We want to award people who are burning on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, just because you burn a dish doesn't mean you're a good cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we could also do Jeannie Simpson eating that cupcake.
That's where I was going. I was like,
okay.
What's Jeannie had something though? She was really good.
Oh, Jeannie is going to be in the next episode for sure. You promise.
Yeah,
I promise.
Don't worry.
Good.
Jeannie Simpson cupcake. Okay, here we go. Rank preserved. 11. It must be a terrible time for your family. 10. I don't want to talk to a spinster who smokes like a chimney, drinks like a fish, and dresses like a mother. 19.
Ooh.
Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Jeannie Simpson eating that cupcake. 19. What?
It's great physical comedy.
Okay, roll off between BJD and Jeannie Simpson. BJD gets a 5 on the roll off. Jeannie Simpson gets 12. It looks like it's Jeannie Simpson in the cupcake.
It's Jeannie Simpson
eating that cupcake. I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's fucking truth.
Well, now I'm going to tell you why it's good to remember that she's so good in that. Because our next episode, which we were going to record after this, but now we're definitely not because it is already 1:40. We're going to talk about it after we're off mic when we're going to do it. Our next episode is going to be brackets for TPP. Used to be the Platinum Pamplemousse. No, that's a Podlander Drunk Cast reference. No more. Now the Golden Butthole becomes the Platinum Pooper. We're going to take every butthole that we love in every adaptation of Pride and Prejudice we've watched so far. We are going to seed them and we are going to do a bracket, a major butthole bracket, the butthole bracket, the Platinum Pooper.
Okay.
The Platinum Pooper.
Okay. I'm ready.
The Platinum Pooper.
God, you're so funny.
Yeah. I'm ready for the
fucking
Platinum
love it.
Pooper.
Yeah,
Does this
dude.
make up for the joke that neither of you laughed at, even though it was hilarious?
I mean,
I don't even remember that.
Allison, you're like, it's like a scatter shot. Something's not always going to hit, but like most of the time you're hitting stuff.
Right. The Platinum Pooper. Hold on, Julie, take another sip of that beer. Platinum Pooper. I was hoping for a spit take. Should have saved it. I should have timed the announcement for when you were drinking. Anyway, so our next episode.
That was great.
In fact, because we're not recording it next, please tell us who belongs on the Platinum Pooper bracket. Find us on Twitter. Find us at Podlandercast. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Podlandercast. Find us on Instagram at SickBurnJane. And I guess we also have a Sick Burn Jane Twitter. I guess I should probably be checking that. Crap. Also, there's Sick Burn Jane on Twitter. You can also find us on Patreon at patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast, where you can support the show, get access to episodes early, bonus episodes, Janine's Corner, the Slack channel, of course. And if you're in the Slack, then someone make a thread and make sure to tag us in it and go ahead and put all your pics in there. You don't have to do it on social media. We want to thank all of our patrons. You are amazing and incredible and incredibly good looking.
Yes.
And you are all vaccinated unless you cannot be for health reasons for some reason. And you're doing the good things because you're all wonderful people. We want to thank all of you patrons, but especially the following lovely folks. Just Bree, Catspaw 156, Maddie Perkins, Snazzy Nach, Lisa Brienne, Julia Gulia, Kathleen Martini, Lauren Tennant, Kelsey Kemp, Madison Johnson, Emily Day, Betsy English, Caitlin Braddock, Ashley Tigerson, Kristen Freckle, Fury, Laura Colm, Amelia Bazell, Liz Ann Tinkerbell, Stella Welch, Tori Halligan, Claire Feeney, Rochelle Lefevre, Heather Robbins, Jerry Hurdle, Emily Carlson, Amy Gustafson, Rachel Townsend, Steph Peterson, Kelly Mazzella, Chantel Salters, Mary the Falling Statue, Tara Lucchino, Viv Pickles, A.K. Laura, Mary of the Grapefruit, Jenna Pukowski, Ann Gibson, Ruth McCormick, Gara Marlowe, Trish McCurry, Julie DeToy, Jen Lynn, Kelly Bodden, Amanda Noonan, Matt Kiki.
Oh, why?
Also, Jenna, we love you. We love you.
Congrats.
Jenna Polkowski, congrats. We
Congrats.
love you. We look forward to you using the name Podlander Drunk Cast and Outlander Podcast, followed by Polkowski-Hunsberger. We love you all. Those of you who recently gave birth and all the rest of you too, have a lovely time living your lives.
Doing whatever. Keeping it real.
We'll be back with the Platinum Pooper bracket next week. Bye.
Bye.